If I asked you what is the best selling Volvo of all time, you'd probably think, back in the day, maybe the Volvo 240. Well, you wouldn't be incorrect if there was no such thing as the XC60, because this XC has now surpassed the sales of the 240. This is one of the most popular vehicles in the Volvo lineup, especially in Canada. This is the best selling vehicle. Why? Well, guess what? You get two different powertrains, you get that scan design interior, you get that synonymous Volvo safety. Of course, it's all wrapped up in a nice premium package. Well, for 2026, the XC60 has some really, really nice upgrades. Let's have a look. For 2026, the front end gets redesigned. You'll see this grille here, very, very similar to the larger sibling, which is the XC90. The Volvo stripe just really fits seamlessly into the actual lines going across. Now this color is brand new. This is called Forest Lake. I think this is going to be a very, very popular color. It doesn't look as drab and boring as, let's say, black, white, or silver. It has a little bit of color, but it doesn't really just scream like, look at me. It looks very classy. Now, there are two power plants for the XC60. We're going to concentrate on the more powerful T8 on this one, but you can get a 2-liter 4-cylinder hybrid powertrain, or you get the T8. This is the plug-in hybrid one. Both come with a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, but this one, you actually get electric motor and the electric system. This gas engine is good for 312 horsepower, but when you combine it with the electrical system, you get 455 horses out of the system. Plus, you can run it just on electricity as well. So we're gonna get to that in a second. One thing though, man, this hood opens up so tall. If you're shorter, you may have a little bit of an issue. The XC60 is also popular for its size. This is a 5-passenger vehicle. You can see it does have a wagon style kind of appearance. It's a crossover. And when you open the doors though, I like how the doors open quite wide, which makes getting in and out very easy. Also, wheel sizes. Now this is wild. You can go from 18-inch all the way up to a 22-inch wheel on this vehicle. This one's equipped with 21s on here. The rear passenger side has your standard gas filler. On the driver's side near the front is the charge port. Coming around the back, you have those synonymous vertical Volvo lights here, a big wiper. I kind of wish the wiper was, maybe from the top. It kind of protects it from the snow a little bit, but very clean design here. You have a little bit of a sill. This chrome piece here, that's gonna help with scratching, loading things in and out. There are no visible tailpipes on here. We have a standard tailgate. Raise that up. Lots of good storage, and this is another reason why this vehicle is popular. When we lift up the bottom though, we have our charger, but there is no spare tire. You do get an inflator kit, just to let you be aware, but you have a 60-40 split, and you do have a pass-through. So if you have like some longer items, maybe skis or something, you can use that. But yeah, very good usable space. Okay, we're on the inside of the 2026 XC60. This is the top of the line Ultra. It gets some very, very nice, tasty upgrades. First of all, what we're sitting on here are beautiful Napa leather seats. The only thing that this doesn't have, like maybe the XC90 does, is it does not have massaging seats, but this does have heated and ventilated front seats, heated rear seats as well. This is a 5-passenger vehicle, no third row on here, which is perfect for a lot of people. But we have a brand new steering wheel here. You can see the Bowers & Wilkins premium audio system have new grills. They look great, but not only that, they sound really good. I can't really play anything because it'll get probably a copyright strike on it. You have this natural driftwood design. Everything looks and feels just absolutely top notch in here. But up front, a brand new 11.2-inch screen. So the previous one was much smaller and it was embedded in. Now this is, since it's larger, it has to stick out a little bit more. But not only that, it's much quicker. So, you know, different processing, different screen, so the graphics are better. Also, the driver interface is different as well, and you can have your map on there. This has wireless Android. I was gonna almost say wireless CarPlay, but no, CarPlay needs to be wired, but at least it still has it. This is a Google-based system on here. Now, this is one thing I absolutely love. Now, it's not a big thing, but you know, we have this crystal shifter, put it into reverse, and look at this. We actually get a rear view and a 360 view at the same time. You know, I've said this so many times in some of the previous Volvo products where it would have a, you know, the 360 camera, but it wouldn't display on the same time as the rear view camera. This one does both. Thank you, Volvo, for including that, like really, really big time. So that's great as well. This middle console has been redesigned as well. You know, so we have, you know, more storage room here. We have room for 2 drinks as well. In the center here, you could put something. I don't think your phone is going to fit vertically in here, but when you don't have anything there, you can close that up and it looks very neat. And we do have some storage room here. Everything is USB-C, by the way. We have a large panel roof here, and this has some nice, even some tasteful ambient lighting. No disco stuff, but yeah, it's comfy. Let's go for a drive. Look at this. Look at this. Both cameras are on at once. It's so easy to please me. From a standstill, here we go. That has some really, really good takeoff, and the torque is definitely evident there with the electric motor for sure. So 0 to 100K is done in just 4.8 seconds. If you want to compare that to the non-plug-in, that one will actually take over 2 seconds more at 6.9 seconds to 0 to 62 miles an hour. So that's a big marked difference. Remember, this has 455 horsepower though, and that one's gonna only put out 247 horsepower. Now, power goes through all 4 wheels, and it doesn't matter. We've driven about 4 or 5 hours with this vehicle so far, and I gotta say that regardless of your situation, you have lots of passing power, you got good acceleration, but you know, more importantly, you have really good torque. So it comes on nice and low, even with the gas engine on. So you have a total of 523 pound-feet of torque, but just the electric motor itself puts out 228 pound-feet. So that gives you a good idea. But everything works so well together. You know, when there's a little bit of lag, the electric motor takes over. So let's talk about the PHEV system. You get like an 18 kilowatt hour lithium battery. The charger, as we mentioned, is on the driver's side near the front. Now, this only has the level 2 charging, and it's not the quickest. It's gonna take you probably like 4 to 5 hours or so to charge this to 100%. So in my estimation, that's like using like 3.6 a kilowatt charging on board on here. But that's gonna be good for up to 55 kilometers. But depending on the situation, we've actually shown it as being over 70. All depends on the temperature and the type of driving that you're gonna do. But it's always gonna have some reserve there for the performance aspect of it. Now, if we want to go through the drive modes, there is a dedicated button for drive modes. And right now we're on hybrid. So that's the best of both worlds. If we want all power, that's going to really actually prioritize the gas engine as well, mainly. And then you're going to use more fuel up, but definitely more responsive for sure. Pure though, when we hit that, now it's silent. We're cruising at 100 kilometers an hour, and it's just silent. I love it. So with this new refresh XC60, they have actually added in more sound deadening foams and things that just block out things. Now I'm on a road right now. We've been driving on the freeway a lot, but this road has all those crisscross expansion repairs, let's just say. So it's a very bumpy road. This has the adaptive suspension. It's only on the very top trim, so you cannot get that as an add-on option. but it does make a difference. It has such a great ride quality on there. You can also adjust things like, you know, your steering as soft and firm. And in your battery usage, you can go on auto. That's normally the way I have it. You can have it hold. So say you know you're going to be driving in the city, for instance, in a bit, and you want to keep that charge, then you put it on hold and it's going to hold that. And you also have a charge. Now, if we hit the charge, that is going to actually start up that gasoline engine, and it's going to help drive the wheels, but it's also going to help charge the battery as well. So, you know, if you have zero and you want a little bit more charge for some reason, then you can do that. But just bear in mind, this will use fuel. You know, of course it's going to. But so let's just go back to auto. This trip really immersed us in the Volvo experience. Not only did we get to try out the new 2026 XC60, but we also got to learn about, of course, safety from Volvo and get a sneak peek at the upcoming EX30 cross country. Yeah, this little subcompact EV that's been so popular is going cross country. It gets a little bit more ground clearance. It has some skid plates, has a more rugged look. We'll make sure to update you when we get behind the wheel of this little cross country. By the way, if you're wondering, we're in an area in Ontario called Prince Edward County. I've actually been here once before, but it was many, many years ago, and I forgot, you know, what it's like. And right now, the fall colors are coming in. This area it's almost like it's a little slice of heaven. It's you know, a couple hours out of the city of Toronto, but you feel like you're in a whole different, almost different country. It's so cool. There's a ton of beach area here. I would never have thought. It definitely is a place that I would come back to. You know, if I brought the family, I think that we'd have a great time. You know, maybe do a bike tour or something like that, just bike around. There's a lot of wineries as well. And I think, yeah, I bet you it would be very busy during the summertime though. Okay, I do have one kind of pet peeve on here. This is kind of like a throwback to the straight pipes when they did their sliding visor tests. This visor does not slide. And there is a gap here. And for some reason, all day long I've been driving and it's always kind of coming through there. It's just kind of a little bit annoying. Not a deal breaker by any means, but I can definitely tell why this Volvo XC60 is so popular. And with the updates that they've done with this, it's just gonna really even, you know, they're gonna sell even more of these. Why is it popular? You know, there's so many different reasons. It's the size, it's got great utility. The power plant is fabulous. Like seriously, this is one of the best PHEVs that I've driven. In fact, this is the best selling PHEV in the premium segment even. So, you know, that should actually say something to you right there. But I like how it's kind of a hybrid at this point of the best of both worlds. Say you're not ready for a full EV like the EX30 or the EX90. Well, guess what? You have the great ability to have and enjoy both with this XC60 with the PHEV. Also, love how, you know, you get the latest in technology from Volvo here. You get the larger screen, it's so much faster. You know, you get that nice Bowers and Wilkins audio system, but you still retain some of the manual control, like the steering wheel, I can adjust it, or the mirrors, I can adjust it without having to go through any menus. That part kind of actually really bugs me. Will you get used to it? Yeah, you do get used to it, but just give me a little toggle. I like my manual controls. That may be just me though. One day, you know, it'll follow along the EX30 and the EX90, and it's going to get those digital controls. So if you don't like those, grab one of these right now. This XC60 would be great for our family vehicle. Lots of room for the kids, us, and with all that cargo room back there, even all their horse gear would actually easily fit in here. And even though this is kind of a crossover, it still feels like a car. You know, you ride high, but you don't feel like you're driving like a big, tall SUV. So you get, honestly, the best of all worlds. I keep on saying that, but it really kind of is. So yeah, what do you think of the XC60? Which powertrain would you get? Leave a comment below and hope to see you on the next Everyday Review. Ciao.